Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Young Family Taiji, section 1. And today our new move is going to be right water. So let's begin. Welcome, everybody. And what we're going to start off with is standing. And the reason why I want to do standing first, I want you to be shoulders width apart or wider. And I want you to have, you see this round shape with your hands, about a fist width apart, the fingertips. So this is your reference shape. And if you find that you get stuck sometime, I want you to feel the kind of connectedness and extension that this shape should remind you of. So this shape should have your head up and your hips down so that your tailbone is down. And I want you to feel both extending and connecting. So your arms are connected through your back. You're going to go all the way around. So your fingertips have a connection to your spine. And your head is up and your hips are down. And your knees are facing the same direction as your toes. And your whole foot is on the ground. Okay? So now that we have that as a reference, I'm going to do what we've done so far, which is prepare, opening, and left ward off. I'm going to start doing the same direction as you, because I think that's the easiest for you to follow. Then I'm going to do the other 3 directions so you can see better. Okay? So, stand, feet, shoulders width apart, toes facing forward, hands at your side, your middle finger on the seam of your pants, head up, tailbone down. Prepare. Opening. Rotate your arms so the palms are back. Raise them to shoulder level and then press down till you're almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step and close, shift weight and separate your arms. So the important thing here is, well, there are lots of important things, but the thing that I want you to remember in terms of coordination points, I'll do it this way and I'll count it out. So if we're starting in the beginning, feet shoulders width apart, prepare, extend and connect, opening, rotate your arms so the palms are back. Come up to shoulder level and then press down, leading with your elbows. Come almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step and close, shift weight and separate. Now I'm going to do it facing you. Okay, feet shoulders width apart, hands by your side, Head up, hips down. Prepare. Opening. Rotate your arms so the palms face back. Come up to shoulder level and then press down, leading with your elbows, almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left. Turn right. All the weight on the right. Step and close. Shift and separate. And then on the other direction, feet shoulders width apart, hands by your side, extend and connect, prepare. Opening, rotate your arms, palms back, lift up to shoulder level, and press down, leading with your elbows till your hands are almost to the bottom. Grasp bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step and close, shift and separate. So a few details in terms of the positioning, the relative positioning of hands and feet. Okay, and I'm going to do this facing you so that you can see better. So when you're almost at the bottom, you're going to shift your weight left, just so that you can release the heel of your right. When you turn the heel of your right to the corner, your whole body goes with it. Can you see? My whole body is going with it. Then when my whole body is going with it, my hands separate just a little, left forward and right back. Then as I sit and put all my weight on the right, can you see my left hand, the palm is back, and the right hand, I'm starting to grab forward. Then I step and close. So the step and close, I'm getting ready to grab someone with my right. And as I shift weight, my right passes across the middle of my left forearm and pulls down. My left is swinging up. So I have this, I'm here, I'm swinging up and turning. Can you see that? So if we do it one more time, when you're at the bottom, almost to the bottom, you shift left, 1, 2, turn. All your body turns to that corner. 3, you shift your weight all to the right so that you can step out with the left. Step and close. Shift weight and separate. So when you're here and you have all your weight on the right, this is down and this is starting to move out because you're going to step and close so that you can pull down with the right as the left moves up. Can you see that?
Can I ask about the torso turn?
Okay, so let me see which way. Well, let's do it this way and maybe you can see. Let's just look at the footwork, okay? So I'm starting facing forward. I shift my weight toward the left in order to release the right. So when I turn this toward the corner, my whole body turns toward the corner. Okay. Now the trick here is hips up, all goes toward the corner, but the right foot is still toward the front, right? And the knee has to stay over that toe. So you have to have flexibility in your hips so that it opens up, so that that knee can stay that way while that one is going that way. Okay? So your torso is now toward the corner. You're going to step. This is going to be your back leg. Your torso always follows the back leg. When I step forward, so when I move my weight this way, only my top half, it's a waist turn, so that only from the waist up do I move toward this way. And then as I step and close and turn, my waist turns back so that it's actually somewhat past the corner. It's past the corner in order for me to be upright. In other words, if I were at the corner, it's hard for me to be upright. I would tend to want to be forward. But in order to be upright, I have to put my hip in. And in order to do that, it's easier if I am turned a little bit more. So for the totally vertical stances, you're actually turned slightly more than corner.
All right, so if I got this right, you actually first did a turn to the corner and then an upper body turn back,
Yes.
leaving the legs exactly where they were, and then an upper body turn 90 degrees, still leaving the legs exactly where they were.
Yes.
Is that right?
Once my legs step forward,
That's
the
it.
hips stay with the legs.
And that's toward the corner, actually.
Yes, the hips are toward the corner.
But there's 3 turns.
But you're turning. So if I'm facing you, I shift weight left, I turn right. Then I shift all my weight to the right. The upper body turns toward you. My hips are still that way. Then I step forward, heel, ball, toe, bend knee, and I turn a little bit more that way as I'm swinging my arm, but my hips stay where they were.
Oh, I didn't have this quite right. All right, thank you.
Okay, try again. Okay, you're starting here almost to the bottom. Shift left. Everything turns to the corner. All the weight goes to the right as your upper body turns toward the front. Step and close. Then, as you shift weight forward, you're swinging the left up as you pass this over the over the left forearm. So we have 2 favorite shapes in Tai Chi in terms of handshake. One of which you already know, which is this tree hugging shape. So if you look at the tree hugging shape, what you see is that it's round, right? It's round in this direction. The other shape we have is the push or pull shape. And this one has the palm toward you. The push or pull shape has the palm out, like if I'm pushing or if I'm pulling, the palm is away from my body, right? The hand shape is the same in terms of the hand itself. So the hand has an open tiger's mouth. It has a little space between the fingers, right? And so you have this open hand shape. Hi, Judith.
I'm sorry for being late. I couldn't remember the passcode. Sorry.
It's okay. So you have this hand shape regardless, okay? The difference is, what is your arm shape, okay? So when you're warding off, you have the circle this way. When you are pulling or pushing, you have the circle this way. So the hand is what we call standing. Can you see? Here, it's up. And if you think about pulling or pushing, the standing of the hand actually activates your tendons in your forearm, and it allows the energy to flow from your spine out your fingers. So that's why you have this round shape here for pulling and pushing. And ward off is the round shape in the other direction. So generally speaking, ward off is a defensive position, and the pushing or pulling shape is more of an offensive position. So when we are talking about left and right ward off, the actual ward off itself, in the case of left ward off, it's this. It's the left hand that's doing the ward off. The right hand is actually doing a pull. Okay. So today we're going to learn right ward off. And the difference between left ward off and right ward off, besides being the hand that's up, is the position of the opponent. So the reason why left ward off and right ward off are not exact mirrors of each other is that the position of the opponent is different. The opponent is to the side in left ward off, and the opponent is in the front for right ward off. So let's do footwork. So I'm going to turn around so that you can follow more easily. So for left ward off, you were shoulder width apart. One, you shift your weight to the left. Two, you turn the right to the corner. Three, you put all the weight on the right so that you release the left. 4, step. 5, shift weight. Heel ball toes 60% in the front, 40% in the back. Now, for right ward off, what we're going to do is 1, we're going to shift toward the right to release the left. 2, we're going to turn the heel of the left so that it faces the corner. Your feet are now parallel to each other. 3, all the weight goes on the left. 4, you're going to step, you're going to pull in and then step out. Then 5, shift weight. The reason you pull in, almost always, you're going to pull in before you step out. There aren't too many occasions, except of course, left ward off, where you step straight forward. And the reason is that left ward off, your feet are close enough together that you can just sit straight forward. Almost always your feet are far enough apart that we don't want you lunging, okay? We want you to gather yourself up and center and then step out, okay? So that's why you pull in before you step out, because you want to have good balance before you make any movements, okay? So let's do that footwork again. Going from the beginning, okay? So when you start, your feet are shoulder width apart, your feet are facing forward, parallel to each other. 1, shift left to release the right. 2, turn your body to the corner. 3, all the weight on the right. 4, step. 5, make your bow stand, 60% in the front, 40% in the back. Right ward off. Shift right to release the left. Turn on the heel of the left to the corner. Your feet are now parallel. 3, all the way to the left. 4, pull in and step out. 5, make your bow stance. Shift weight 60% to the front, 40% to the back. How did that feel? Okay. Let me do it a couple more times before I add the hands. All right. So once again, be parallel, left ward off, shift left, turn right, all the weight on the right, step, shift weight, bow stance. Right ward off, shift right, turn on the heel of the left to the corner, all the weight on the left, pull in and step out, bow stance. Okay. No questions? Work on the hands? Okay. So I'm going to do it facing you so that you can see the hand. Okay. So, well, I'm going to do it in your direction just to show you. And then I'll do it facing you so you can see the hands better. So when we did left ward off, okay, we were from all the way almost to the bottom, and we shifted left, turned right, all the weight came to the right, step and close, shift weight and separate. On the right ward off, you shift to the right, you turn the left foot, your hands haven't moved yet, you shift all the way to the left and your hands move. Then come together, step and close, shift weight and separate. Now, one of the things that is more pronounced when we're doing right ward off is when we did left ward off, you shift left, you turn right, all the weight comes on the right. You have one up and one down, step and close, and you swing up and pull down. When you're doing right ward off, you shift your weight right, and you turn your foot to the corner, your hands have not changed. Then what you're going to do next is you're going to pull with the left and ward off down with the right. Then you're going to step and close, and then separate and shift weight. So let's do it this way. So at the end of left ward off, shift right. Turn to the corner. Can you see my hands haven't changed? Then, as I shift all my weight to the left, I'm going to pull with the left and ward off down with the right. Then I'm going to pull in, step and close, and then shift and separate. So the ending position, because the opponent is in front, you can see my right arm is across my body. I'm protecting myself from someone in front. I'm pulling down so that my pull down is across the middle of the right forearm. And the body alignment is such that the elbow of the right arm is right above the right knee. So you should not be here or here. You should be lined up so that everything, so your energy can be properly directed. Okay? And remember when you did left ward off, when you had up and down, you are going to have a look that's very similar to that in mirror image when you're doing right ward off. Because if you're here and you turn and you pull left and ward off down, that's a mirror image of what you had before for left ward off. Then you come in, out, step and close, and then right ward off. So the right is up, the left pulls down across the middle of the right forearm. Any questions on that one? I think it just takes practice. So what I'll do is we'll do them both together and I'll count them both. And you'll see how the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on each one corresponds to the other one. Okay, so I'm going to do it this way. So when you're almost at the bottom, 1, shift left, 2, turn, 3, all the weight on the right, 4, step and close, 5, separate and shift weight, right ward off, shift right, 1, 2, turn the left foot to the corner, 3, all the weight goes on the left, pull with the left, ward off down with the right, 4, pull in and out, step and close, 5, shift weight and separate. So your final position on the right ward off, a right elbow over the right knee, and this hand just pulled across the right forearm, and you can see it's about a fist's distance away from the right arm. Can you see that? So just as in the left ward off, when you stepped and closed, when you were swinging up the left and pulling down with the right. So you have this motion with right ward off. What happens is you have this pull all the way on the left, step and close, and then swing forward. Okay, instead of swinging to the side, you're swinging forward as your weight transfers. So from the side, you can see it's like this. As my left leg straightens out, the right comes up and the left goes down. Both of these are kind of a matter of coordination, which is why I kind of like to count it out so that you get the hands and feet at the same spot. So with the left ward off, you're swinging up. With the right ward off, you're also swinging up, but in front of you. So even though they describe them as being the same, it does feel different because of the direction.
Rita,
Yes,
when you end on the left water and the right water, is the bottom hand in the same distance away from the other arm? Is the
no, it's not. So that's the other part that, yeah. So if I'm doing left ward off, okay, I'm shifting left. I'm turning right. One hand up, one hand down. Step and close. Then when I turn, this is more of a pull down. My right hand is right in front of my right hip, or right by almost. Right hip, I guess it is. So I'm swinging up and pulling down almost to my right hip. And I'm looking that way. I'm swinging and looking. Whereas in the right ward off, I'm swinging forward and looking forward because my opponent is forward. And it's closer, right?
Rita, I have a quick question.
Yes,
Maybe, I think I caught the tail end of this. That your hands are quite open in every
Yes.
element. And were you
Yes.
saying that that's true through this whole part of the form?
yes.
Okay.
You're one of the problems that some people have is they think that their fingers should be closer together. They're not. Yeah, your fingers are open and you have that connected and extended feeling with your hands. So you should feel both connected and extended. Okay. And also the connected extended feeling allows you to keep your tiger mouth open. You know, if your hands are too scrunched up, then your tiger mouth tends to also scrunch up. So keep your tiger mouth open too. Any questions? How about we do it a few more times? I'd like to do the left and right ward off together so that you get a sense of the flow, okay? So I'm going to do it the same direction as you. I'll do other directions later, but for now, I'm going to do it the same direction as you. Because it's easier for you to do the footwork. Okay, so I'm almost at the bottom. Okay, my head is up. My hips are down. Grasp bird's tail, left ward off. Shift left. Turn right to the corner. All the weight on the right. Step and close. Shift and separate. Right ward off. Shift right. Turn the left foot to the corner. All the weight goes on the left, so you're pulling with the left and warding off with the right. Pull in, step and close. Shift, weight, and separate.
Quick question though.
Yeah.
Is your left hand, when does your left hand rotate so that you're in the last part of right ward off? When does your left hand rotate so that it's facing your forearm?
Okay, so what happens is if I were at left ward off and I'm turning, I'm pulling with the left and warding off down with the right. Then I'm stepping and closing. Then as this comes up, the other goes down. Yes? So one of the things that they emphasize with right ward off, which often people don't make big enough, and that is that when you're coming here, I want you to make a definite pull to the left and a definite ward off down with the right. So when you look at my pull, I'm beyond my shoulder line. Don't make a skimpy pull. Pull, past your shoulder. So, and this is warding off down. So usually a ward off down is to deflect a kick. If somebody's kicking you, you ward off down to, that's the defense against a kick. So you kind of brush someone's kick out of the way. So you want to pull and ward off, which is symmetrical to the up and down when you did the left ward off, right? So here, pull. Then when you come together, pull in, close. Then one up, one down as you shift weight. Okay? I'm going to do it facing that way. So I'm almost at the bottom. Left ward off. Shift left. Turn right. All the weight on the right. Step and close. Shift weight separate. Right ward off. Shift right. Turn the left foot to the corner. Pull and ward off down as all the weight goes to the left. Pull in, step. Shift weight as you separate. So you're warding off right and pulling down left. Okay, I'm going to do it that way. Okay, almost to the bottom. Shift left, turn right. All the weight on the right. Step and close. Shift, weight, separate. Right ward off. Shift right. Turn the left foot. Pull and ward off left. That's all the weight goes on the left. Pull in. Step and close. Shift, weight, and separate. Questions? Okay. Let's do it a few more times. Let's do it from the beginning. Okay, we'll do it a couple times from the beginning and then we'll close class. Okay, so prepare. Head up, hips down. Extend and relax. Opening. Rotate your arms. Palms facing back. Raise your arms to shoulder level. Press down almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail, ward off left. Shift left. Turn right. All the way to the right. Step and close. Separate and shift weight. Ward off right. Shift right. Turn the left foot to the corner. Hands don't move yet. Shift all the way to the left. Pull left. Ward off down with the right. Come in. Step and close. Shift weight. One up, one down. Make sure your right elbow is lined up with your right knee. So when you're warding off, your hand is always just slightly higher than your elbow. Okay, so don't be down here. Come up. Okay. So how was that? Better?
Is the right ward off arm lower than the left ward off arm?
Yes. Because the left ward off arm, you're swinging up to shoulder level. You're about shoulder level, right? The right ward off arm is here. So you can see it's kind of across your chest, slightly diagonally up. And your elbow should always be below your shoulder. So your elbow here is below your shoulder, but your hand is about shoulder high. Whereas here, you're swinging up. And yes, your elbow is below your shoulder and your hand is about shoulder height, but it feels more like it's higher because it's straighter. The energy feels different because you're swinging from your shoulder. Here, you're also moving from your shoulder, but your elbow is bent much more. I mean, you're almost like right angles, whereas this one, you're pretty much straight coming out. So it feels like you have more energy because your hand is further away from the center of your circle. So if you think of the radius being greater, then the path is greater. Whereas here, the movement of the radius is actually just from the elbow to the shoulder. It doesn't go all the way to the hand because it's bent. That makes sense?
I mean, it kind of does. This one feels higher, but
It feels higher.
if I put them together, it actually looks like my elbows are in the same place and my hands are also the same height.
It's your elbow is actually a little further down.
Okay.
So when you're here, it feels almost straight, straight with a bend, right? But here, if you were to extend your hand, you can see your hand would not be as high. Your elbow would be higher. If you were going like this, your elbow is higher than when it's down here. You see what I'm saying? If you took this hand and just extended it, you would move it. You'd have to move it up in order to get your hand to the shoulder height.
Okay, I guess it's what's really lower is the elbow.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the elbow that's lower. Your hand is at the same height because your hand is also at shoulder height. See, when you're here, your hand is at shoulder height. When you're here, your hand is at shoulder height.
Yeah, I've been bringing up the whole thing too far.
Well, the thing is, you want to leave your elbow down relative to your shoulder, and also a ward off is a defining of your space. I am defining my space, which is what's inside is mine, so stay out. So when you're here, you want to protect your chest, right? So you're coming across. You don't want to be here, right? If you're here, your shoulder is up and you lose your connection to your spine. Remember, you want to be this round shape, so you want to be here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. There's a million little mistakes I find I'm making.
This is the left and right ward off is surprisingly difficult because there are so many coordination points. You have your hands and body moving, and your feet are going, and you're turning.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm only just beginning to understand that we keep talking about turn this way and turn that way, but there's two separate parts that turn
yes.
separately. And I need to pay attention to the fact that sometimes the turn is only from the waist up and something below that stays. I haven't really, I think I've been moving everything.
Well, the classics talk about your energy being rooted in your feet and coming through your legs and controlled by your waist. So your waist is what controls the direction of where your energy is going. But you want to keep your hips aligned with your back foot so that you are stable and you can transfer that energy from a position of stability. So when you straighten your back foot, okay, you should be perfectly stable doing that. See?
And
And in order to do that, your knees have to be aligned with your toes. So if you collapse your knee, you will not have your energy going in the right direction. Besides which, it's really bad for your knees.
right, that I figured out.
So do not collapse your knees. You should do exercises to essentially make this arch shape stable. And usually most people do not have good hip flexors. They're too tight because we don't do like pliés, right? Or whatever it is they do in ballet.
Yeah. 180 degrees.
So if you hold on to something, Master Yang proposes these exercises. So you rotate your hips, hold on to something when you're doing it, and that way it will help you be more flexible. And it will help your balance a lot. So it's a good idea. Okay, so let's do it one more time and then we'll close class. Okay, I'm going to turn around. Okay, shoulders width apart, feet facing forward, head up, hips down, extended and connected, hands by your side. Prepare. Opening. Turn your arms so your palms face back. Raise up your arms to shoulder level. Press down till you're almost to the bottom. Grasp the bird's tail. Ward off left. Shift left. Turn right. All the way to the right. Step and close. Shift weight and separate and turn. Right ward off. Shift right. Turn the left toe to the corner. Shift all the way to the left. Pull left ward off down right. Pull in, step and close. Shift weight and separate. How did that feel? Looks pretty good. So,
Rita,
yes,
you end both ward off left and ward off right facing 3 o'clock?
no,
Oh.
ward off left. Okay, if this is 12 o'clock, at the end of ward off left, my left foot is still facing 12 o'clock, but I've turned so my left arm is facing 3 o'clock, right? But then when I do ward off right, I turn my left foot to the corner. Then I pull. And then when I pull in and step out, my right foot is toward 3 o'clock and I'm moving toward 3 o'clock.
Okay, so left ward off, where are you moving towards?
So left ward off, what happens is my left foot is still at 12 o'clock. My hips are toward the corner and my arm is toward 3. So the left arm for left ward off is toward 3. and my gaze is toward 3.
Okay.
By the time I do right ward off, my gaze is also at 3,
Mhm.
but I'm warding off more directly toward 3.
Mhm. Okay. Thanks.
Okay,
Mhm. Thank you.
sure. Okay, well, I am not going to be here next week. I'm going to be out of town, but Nancy will have a sub for me. Maybe Nancy will sub for me. And so your next move is going to be rollback. So I will see you the week after that. Okay,
Okay. Have a nice.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Good class.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rita.
You're welcome.
You're very patient.
Oh, no. I think this is actually a difficult, I think left ward off to right ward off is one of the more difficult transitions.
I totally thought I had them until I started paying attention, and all kinds of things aren't quite right. There's all these different parts that face different ways. It's like I haven't really separated my upper and lower facing yet. Mostly it hasn't been mentioned. Okay, your hips are still pointing this way, but your chest,
Yes.
I don't know. So I was completely wrong that I had this part.
It's hard, really, but with practice, you'll get it. And hope I will make sure that we'll get it up on YouTube so you can practice. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.